I'm Mark Pitchers, wader wearing, tea drinking, beard trimming carp freak. I've been an angler for over 30 years and I've caught carp from waters far and wide, big and small. For me, it doesn't matter where, as long as the challenge is exciting and inspiring. But now the tables have turned and it's over to you, the public, to assign my next mission on Fox's Facebook page.
It's not exactly the easiest challenge, is it?
Rivers and lakes, rigs and baits.
You fell to the cat meat?
There's been a number of incredibly tough challenges during this series. Have you been drinking de-icer again? Some of which I've knocked out the park.
Challenge completed.
Others have dealt me a devastating blow. But I'm still here and ready to pick up any gauntlet that is thrown down. This carp freak is not giving up without a fight. This is the challenge. What's up, carp freaks? As you can tell, I'm obviously not on the bank right now. I'm actually at home in my office. It's 10 o'clock at night, and the reason I'm here, I'm not angling, is I am waiting instructions for my new challenge. I have absolutely no idea what's about to be set. This is a little bit of a clue, although I really don't know what Scrabble has to do with carp fishing, but there you go. Other than that, I've just been told to keep the week free in my diary, so I'm guessing it's going to be a long one. Hopefully we're going somewhere hot, because it's absolutely freezing here. 9 degrees, it's August, man. What's all that about? So yeah, I'm just waiting for Lewis to give me a call. He's going to give me further instructions. So until then, I'm just going to search a few sites on the internet. What's wrong with that? And keep myself busy.
What's wrong with that?
Oh. Here he is. Good evening, Lewis.
How's tricks, okay?
Yes, less small talk, get down to business.
Okay, well, as you are fully aware, you're expecting this phone call for us to give you your challenge for the 2015 Edges DVD.
Yeah.
And myself and a couple of the other guys at Fox have been spending quite a bit of time coming up with this one to try and give you something that's realistic, but is probably going to be no means easy for you to achieve, because we do want it to be the ultimate challenge. As you know, you've been kindly asked to book the whole of this week free in order to achieve the challenge, or to give yourself the chance to achieve the challenge.
Do I need suntan lotion?
You're not going to need suntan lotion. No, I don't think so. Judging by the weather forecast for this week, I think you might need some waterproofs and a hat to stop your lovely hair getting blown all over the place.
Okay.
So, now, the premise of your challenge is going to be to fish 5 different venues over the next 4 nights.
Yeah. Is that it?
No, that would be far too easy. What we've decided to give you a little bit of a spice to it is that we know that your favourite word in recent times has been carpy. It's been quite a phenomenon on Twitter and Facebook. So what we decided was that the 5 venues that you're going to catch from, the first letter for each of those venues needs to finally spell the word carpy. So you need to catch from a venue that begins with the letter C, the letter A, the letter R, the letter P, and the letter Y.
Why?
Good luck with that one. Yes, you've got to find a venue that begins with the letter Y and catch a carp from there as well. So you've got 4 nights, 5 venues. We're going to be kind to you. We're not going to make you do it in the order of spelling carpy, because we think that would be slightly unfair and not very environmentally friendly, as you'd be whizzing up and down, up and down, up and down the country. So we're going to give you a little bit of leeway. So as long as you can get those 5 letters in an order at the end and put them all together and get carpy by 4 nights' time, then we're going to let you run with that. So there is a couple of little stipulations that we've put in, because obviously you could just drive over to 5 different match venues, catch a £5 carp, and claim yourself to be the best angler since sliced bread. So we're not going to do that. So what we want you to do is to represent the average fox customer. The guy who fishes a syndicate lake, the guy who fishes day ticket carp lakes, big venues, small venues. We feel at Fox that we try and make tackle for as many different carp anglers as possible, so we want you to pick venues that you feel and that we feel best represent a fox angler. Not a match fisherman, a carp fisherman.
Okay.
How does that sound to you?
Doesn't sound easy.
Well,
But
it's supposed to be easy.
yeah, okay, yeah, bring it. That's okay.
So we're not giving you a lot of time to make plans, as you're going to be setting off tomorrow morning. So if I was you, mate, I'd...
Don't worry, I've already spent a bit of time online, but didn't find much about fishing. But yeah, okay, I'm on it. I like it. Okay.
Get on the internet and get finding yourself some venues. Be up early tomorrow morning, and good luck.
Okay.
This is going to be the carpiest challenge ever, quite literally.
Okay. Right. Excellent. Okay, Lewis. Right. Love you.
Good luck, mate. Love
Bye.
you. Bye.
That's so not carpy. That is so not carpy. Ah.
What do you reckon?
I don't know if it's doable. I really don't. He's forgetting I live in the Outer Hebrides. It takes me like a week to get anywhere. It's, I don't know. I feel stressed already, to be honest. I don't think it's doable. I really don't.
You better hurry up and get on it.
Yeah, I better use the internet for something a bit more resourceful, hadn't I, really? So, right, okay. Let's try and find some lakes beginning with C-A-R-P-Y. Good morning, it's 6 o'clock. Had a bit of a late night last night. I was up till the small hours, basically just researching venues, trying to get as many venues with each letter as possible. I had to prep all my kit. I had nothing ready, and I wasn't really able to get anything ready because I don't even know where I'm going, to be honest. I've packed the van with quite literally every shred of fishing tackle I own. So I think what we're going to do now, I'm going to hit the road. I'm going to, the first water I'm going to is only about 40 minutes from here. It's a place called Rising Sun. Never fished it before. I don't really know what to expect, but quite a few people I've rang round all said, yeah, it's good for a bite. So hopefully the plan is go down there, get one knocked out early doors, and then head off to the next venue. So let's get in the van and see how it goes. Carp anglers, you're right, like, can't put carp in keep nets and the two at match points. Well, we just got here at the fishery. There's 3 lakes on site, and to be honest, I don't really even know which one I'm meant to be fishing. This one looks about right. The sign there, carp anglers you need large landing net, large enough in marked carp care kit. So I'm guessing what the right make. So yeah, let's go and have a walk round and hopefully we can nobble one early and then be on the road. Right, let's get going. Well, I just had a bit of a scout round. Saw a few fish fizzing just on the end of the island here. So I was just sorry, I was just a bit distracted then. I had a line already. I literally just cast the rod in. Just cast the rod in, I don't know, 2 minutes ago, and I'm already getting liners. There's fish fishing on the end of the island, and the theme of the day. Quite one sheeting up. Theme of the day really is sort of high attract, maximum attraction. Try and get a bite as quick as possible. So I'm going with solid PVA bags. I've just got a short braided hook link here. That's the 15-pound Reflex braid, size 6 hook, 10mm pineapple pop-up, and it's just counterbalanced by this quick change pop-up weight. That's going up to that line. That's going up to a 2 1/4 ounce inline lead. And I'm just fishing these inside the Rapid PVA bag system. So I'm just filling it with, well, actually, why don't we go through the process now and I'll show you how I do it. Put the bag on the loader. Fill it with some ground bait at the bottom of the bag. This is some Supreme Cream ground bait that I'm using. A little bit in the bottom of the bag. I've got the lead and everything drying off in the ground bait to remove any moisture, obviously, so it doesn't dissolve the PVA when we put it in. Lower the rig in. I kind of tap everything down with the lead and then just pull a little bit. Pull up so you've got a bit of a clearance. A bit more ground bait in, and then I put the lead down to the bottom. I'm just using some tiny 2.5mm pellets. Fill up like that. Pull the lead to the top of the bag. Pinch of ground bait. Tap it all down tight. Twist it round. Lick. Push down. That's the bag. I just fold the corners in now just to make it a bit more aerodynamic for casting. And to increase the attraction a bit more, I've just got a pot here of hemp oil. Dip the bag in. And that not only leaks off loads of attraction, kind of tightens the bag a little bit as well. And some of the oil will seep down into the bag. And you'll see when I cast out, you get a nice oily slick. It really does kick off a lot more of attraction, and hopefully it'll tempt a bite a bit quicker than a standard bag would. So that's that. Let's get it in. I've had a liner probably every 2 seconds since I cast out an hour ago. I'll keep you updated. Alright, sausage. That didn't really help anything, it just confused matters, if anything. I'm concerned already that the challenge isn't going the way I want it to. How long have we been here now? 3 hours. for a couple of bream. I really wanted to have one in the bag within like half an hour of casting out, which I think was a bit optimistic. But I think we're going to give it another, I don't think we can afford to give it much more than another hour, and then we have to be gone. I mean, there's plenty of fish feeding. I don't think the carp, I think they're, well, judging by what I've just caught, I'm guessing there's obviously a big shoulder bream moving around the swim. So I don't know. Give it another hour and then I'll make the call then, I think. Well, I've just had a complete change of tactics there. If this was a species challenge, I'd be world champion. I've had skimmers and crucians and basically everything but carp. So change of tactic now. Bags have gone, out and out boilie approach. So I've just got a little snowman here, topped off with a little 10mm pink fluorocell pop-up, and I'm just going to scatter a few pouchfuls of hybrid boilies over the top, and hopefully that'll keep the bream at bay, and I'll get through with the carp this time. Why didn't I do this change earlier? The rod's been in the water 15 minutes with the boilie snowman over boilie, and I'm now playing a carp. I've wasted so much time messing around with PVA bags, getting bream and crucians and tench and whatever else, and should have just started off with boilie from the beginning. But my source has told me there's no bream to worry about, you'll be alright, just go in with solid bags. Well, they were wrong. Oh, a bit cheeky. What's all that about? Calm down. Yes! Oh! How big is he? Does he count? Is he counter? He's just under doubles. He'll do. He'll do. Right, have a little look at him. Bring this over on the mat here. Well, it's not the biggest carp I've caught, but I don't know, he's probably 7-8 pounds, something like that. But I'm counting him. I wanted to catch a fish about 4 hours ago. It took a lot longer than I thought. I made the change up at boilies far too late. Only got myself to blame. It's cost me valuable time. So I just want to get this fish back, get in the van and get on to the next venue. Well, although it feels good to get the R done, that really did take far too long for my liking. In my mind, that's put me behind schedule, so I really do want to get cracking now. Head over to the next venue, and the next letter is A, and I picked the A1 pits. I'm going to be heading south anyway, so it's kind of convenient. It's just a short drive off the A1. So yeah, I'm going to get my foot down. It's about an hour and a half's drive, so let's not mess about. Let's get over there. Well, here we are over on pit 2. I've got 2 rods out. It's all looking very carpy. I've got this reed bed in front of me, rod tips just poking over the edge, not even using backrest. Doesn't get more carpy than that, does it? So I've got 2 rods in position, and all I've done, I've just sort of sat and waited for a while, and there was areas where the fish seemed to show more frequently than others. So yeah, basically just saw the areas where they were rolling, head and shouldering, fizzing. Had a cast around with a bare lead. If it landed nice and hard, put it in the clip, attached the rig, cast out, a few pouches of bait over the top. So yeah, I've done that on 2 rods, got the 3rd one to go. And the tackle I'm using, it's kind of how I finished up really on Rising Sun. Slight difference, I'm now using a 20-pound trans khaki illusion leader. And the reason for that is I'm only fishing at short range here, 25 yard. And this just ensures everything is pinned down. Also, it's virtually invisible. The water clarity here it's clearer than we were over on Rising Sun, so it just makes everything a lot more undetectable to the carp. Inline lead, there's virtually no weed out there, or none that I've found, so there's no need to go dumping a lead unnecessarily. Coming down from that, I have a 20-pound hook link, and this is the prototype material. It's a Camotex semi-stiff. Then I have a size 5 SSBP hook, short shanked beak point hook, and I've got a mini line liner sleeve over the top of that. That really does improve the hooking potential of the rig massively. Small piece of silicone down the shank of the hook just to create a blowback effect, and I've got a 14mm hybrid boilie topped off with a 10mm fluoro pink cell. That's it, very, very simple. So let's get that out in place. Well, we're in. It doesn't feel very big, but the rods have only been in the water less than an hour, so it's a start, and it's a carp. Well, he's in the bag. Well, it's a start, isn't it? It's I don't really think Lewis will let me have this one as a pass just yet, but you know, we've been fishing less than an hour. It's certainly a better start than what we had over on Rising Sun. There's fish feeding in front of me, there's fish fizzing away. I've gone with the out and out boilie approach to try and get a bigger fish, and well, it's at least I haven't had bream, put it that way. But I mean, it's a nice little fish, isn't he? Nice dark looking common, little jet black fella. So yeah, let's get him back. There's still fish fizzing out there. Let's get some more bait in, get the rig back in, and hopefully we'll get one a bit bigger. Good morning. I think it's a good morning. I haven't really had an awful lot of sleep last night. I had another 3 small fish, like the one you saw me with last time. I couldn't believe it really. I've seen only a handful of them little sort of them little fellas jumping around, and I ended up getting 3 last night. And then I did hook what felt a decent fish. Was pulling my arm off from the second I picked up the rod, and that ended up doing me in this snaggy tree just behind me. Absolutely mortified. This rod's been back out now half an hour. I think I've managed to grab about an hour's kip last night. Yes. Oh, he's not a monster. Oh, that's the biggest one I've landed so far. And I think Lewis might just grant me a pass with this one. Oh yeah, it's a double. It is a double, it. It's probably about 10, 11 pounds, something like that. I say he's not a monster, but I think we can count it as a pass. I'm counting it as a pass. I'm absolutely knackered. I've had an hour's sleep. I'm counting it as a pass. So it's a pass. That's it. We're done. A is done and dusted. I'm going to have I don't even think I want to cast back out the boat, so I'm going to try and have an hour's sleep, and then we're going to get on the road and go to the next venue. I believe he is. He's not a monster, unfortunately, but he's a double. He's certainly 10, maybe he's even 11 pound. So yeah, I'm pretty tired. So I'm going to slip him back, and I'm going to get in my bag and wait for the gates to open. Well, we're back on the A1 heading south. A little bit later than I had hoped for. I made the mistake of casting that rod back out to try and get one a bit bigger. It rattled off a short while after. Hook pulled actually, but didn't feel a huge fish or anything. But it's meant I've had pretty much no sleep at all. I'm absolutely knackered. And I think it's fair to say that so far I haven't exactly covered myself in glory. So complete change of scenery, if you like. We're going to a big fish venue now, home to a 50-pound common. Now it's actually a syndicate water, which I'm a member of, but I haven't actually fished it yet. The place is called Patson's, and it's at Northey Park near Peterborough. Like I say, it's home to a 50-pound common. There's a couple of 40s in there as well, and a few 30s, quite a lot of 20s. So it is a big fish venue. It's a gamble though, there's no doubt about that. It is a gamble, and I'm just hoping that gamble is going to pay off. Well, ahoy there, carp freaks. Here we are at Patson's, about an hour and a bit, just down the A1 from where when you last saw me on the A1 pits. It's the first time I've been to this water, even though I am actually a syndicate member. As you can see, it's quite weedy. So what I've done is take to the boat. I'm just having a little scout around in amongst the weed here. There is quite a few holes in the weed, or areas where there isn't any weed on the surface. And if you can see here, all this floating sort of scummy, frothy weed is stuck in amongst weed that is coming from the lake bed. So the areas where there isn't this floating scummy weed are generally where there isn't any weed at all. So it's quite easy actually to find clear areas among it. I'm just paddling around here. I've spoken to a couple of fish in the weed, but I'm not really too worried about that. This is where they feel safe. I mean, I've spoke them. They're only going to go from that bit of weed a little bit farther away and sit in the weed again. They're not going to go far. I mean, it's the first time I've even had a proper sort of walk around the water, and I have actually chosen the weediest area of the lake. Just simply because wherever there's weed, it's just an area where the carp are going to feel safe and secure. Oh, there was a fish just here, common that looked high 20s. She's sat in this little clear area here. So got my Polaroids on. You can see there's no floating weed, there's no weed on the bottom. I'm just going to have a little prod around with the oar. It's actually good. I mean, this is an aluminium oar. When it lands on something hard, it doesn't have ting. You can hear it rattle right the way through the oar. It's actually quite soft and silty. It's quite sort of quite sticky. Not really feeling that spot. Right. turn the boat around and we'll go for a proper little scout of the water. There's quite a few clear areas. Now I've turned the boat around, you can see there's quite a few clear areas. There's a fish just shown in that gap in the weed straight in front of me. So yeah, have a little punt through this weed, have a little bit of a prod around, and I'm sure we'll be able to find 3 nice areas on which to put the hook baits. Well, I've just come to a hole in the weed here. I'm just having a little prod around, and you can hear that on the oar tinking away as it's landing on gravel. Most of the other spots I've been prodding around in have been silty, and that's gravel. It's obviously been an area that's been polished off recently. It's been kept clear of silt through feeding activity. So that's looking like a very nice spot indeed to set a nice little trap. Well, I've just dropped the bait on that spot. I've just come back to the bank and I'm going to cast my rig in place. I'm just going to nick on a little piece of PVA foam just to protect the hook point, stop it from getting caught in any weed. Right. So now I'm just going to cast it. It's that little hole in the weed. That was lucky, on the money. I've got the rod, got the alarm and a bank stick quite high, not just to keep it above these reeds in front of me, but I want to try and keep as much line off the floating weed as possible. Right, first thing I'm going to do is really crank that clutch down tight. I can't afford to give the fish even a millimetre of line. There we go, that's going nowhere. And then I'm using the springer arms here. That really does take all the tension out the line to keep it away from that floating sticky weed, which will really hinder the bite indication. I want to know the second that fish goes to move away, I want to know that instant I've got a bite, and it'll be very, very obvious, believe me. The rod will be going absolutely ballistic, it'll be hooping over. There'll be no doubt about whether we've got a take or not. There you go, everything's nice and tight. 99% of that line is off the weed, just going into that hole there. That's one trap set. Let's get the other 2 sorted. I've just got the last 2 rods in position now. Spent a bit of time placing these rods. I haven't got long on the water, so I wanted to make sure they're absolutely bang on the money. Saw some nice areas, saw some nice fish too, including the big fella. So there was absolutely no mistaking that fish at all. He's by far the biggest fish I've seen since I've been here, and I don't think there's any other commons even approaching that sort of size. So yeah, it's nice to know he's in the vicinity. So yeah, and he was over by the set of pads in front of the swim. There's a little clearing in the weed, a little gravel bowl. So that's where I've dropped one of the rods. The other rod I've dropped, there's a gravel channel, a gravel strip running between 2 very heavy bands of weed. And I've seen a few fish going up and down there today. There was a fish feeding there as well when we got here. So I've dropped a rod there, and because it's a bigger, clear area, I've scattered a few baits in the general area to try and get them moving around. So yeah, all the traps are set. I couldn't have placed them any better by hand. They're absolutely bang on the money. So I guess we'll have to wait and see.
Well, good morning. It's 8:30. Last night was pretty uneventful, which to be honest didn't come as a massive surprise. I wasn't actually expecting to get a night bite. The temperatures now are dropping down to single figures on a night time, and I think if we are going to catch one, it's more likely to be sort of mid-morning, or maybe it's even through the day when the water's just had a chance to warm up a little bit. I've got no reason to move the rods, reposition the rods or anything. They landed absolutely bang on the money last night. Plus also, I've drilled out my hook baits, the cell pop-ups that I'm using. I drilled them out and put a little cork plug in just to give them more buoyancy. So them rigs will be sat absolutely perfect for at least 24 hours. So like I said, there's no need to disturb the swim by casting and rebaiting or anything like that. It really is just a case of sitting and waiting. I haven't seen many fish moving around as yet. I'm sure once the sun gets up a little bit more and it warms up a little bit, I'm sure we'll start seeing a few more fish moving around. Then hopefully one of them will just drop down into them little holes in the weed and have a little bit of a feed. So time will tell. Why would anyone though seriously want to catch 5 carp from 5 different venues in 4 days?
That's not the point.
This is exactly as punishing as I knew it was going to be. Exactly.
Someone's misquoted something and it's frustrating me.
Yeah.
It's reference to an army film and they put, "Get in the chopper." It doesn't get in the chopper, it's "Get to the chopper." Everyone knows that.
It has to be in a camouflage container. You can't use clear plastic bottles. It is not carpy. Trust me when I say clear plastic containers are not carpy. That's not carpy as well, actually.
What?
A blowtorch gas bottle. Giving themselves a carpy middle name on Facebook, that's not carpy. Self-declaration of carpiness is not carpy. Like the Carpy Challenge is so uncarpy because it's been given the title the Carpy Challenge. So by its very definition, it is not carpy. That was a fail. So I'm going to start referring to this challenge as the Uncarpy Challenge. That's it. I want to go in.
What have you done?
Someone didn't tie up the boat, did they? Not me.
You didn't tie up the boat, did you?
Here we go.
Hello.
Here we go. Right. Okay. You've got a towel in the back. Oh my god. I don't think I can. I literally don't think I can. Oh. That's the worst bit. Right, chuck his legs in it, Paul. Harry. Oh man, I can swim, I'm just not quite ready for it.
Come on, Mark.
Just swim.
Just do it.
You
You're
won't believe
already
how-
halfway in anyway.
You won't believe how cold it is. I'm just have to swim to the boat, aren't I?
Yeah.
You absolute tit. Oh, it's already shallow, yeah? I want a grapple bait. Right, you're gonna get me towel dried off, Harry. Oh. Tell you what I think I'll do this time. I think I'll put that there. There we go. Come on, I'm cold. We need to hug together for warmth. Me and Harry were both just sat there saying, this looks dreadful, it ain't gonna happen, we haven't seen a sign of a fish feeding, we've seen nothing. And the rod absolutely slams over and we're into a fish. Now he's weeded me solid, kind of expected this was going to happen. I'm going to have to set sail and go and retrieve this carp. You undo me around there. You undo this. Right, you getting in?
Yeah.
And then pick up the panel to get near it. Is that alright? Once I get moving. At the moment all I'm doing is I'm just using the fish as an anchor. I'm trying to steer myself above it. See where the fish is. Line's just pinged. Can you row? I'm drifting horribly away from it. I get him in this little hole here. Right, keep it like that. Keep it like that. Give me a bit more, please. Sorry, I just swore. Oh, is it in?
Is it?
Oh, it's an absolute lump as well. Oh my god, that was a struggle. Cheers, Harry. That was some good rowing. That isn't little, is it? I can't believe that. Just 5 minutes ago, we were sat there thinking, it's not going to happen. It's a waste of time. We need to start thinking about another venue we can get to quickly. There we go. Shows what I know, doesn't it? It's a big 20 pounder. I think it's probably bigger than a 20 pounder. I think I've really he's yeah. That'll do. Oh mate.
I don't know how much people would have seen of that, but
How easy did that come in? It was just sat on the top, wasn't it? Is that a 30 pounder?
every day of the week.
Oh, it was like, but... Right. That is a unit. Got big old pop eyes on him. You can see he's absolutely nailed. That was a rig that did it. Different to the one that you saw me using last time. I made a slight change of tactics. We'll talk about that in a little bit later. For now, let's have a look at this big fella. Water. Let's have a look at him.
Ooh, he's heavy. Have a look at that. Not bad for me first fish out of the syndicate water. He's a proper old unit, isn't he? Wrinkly tail, big poppy out eyes. What a character. I mean, to catch a 7-8 pounder, and then one just over 10 pound. This has kind of made up for the frustrations of them 2 earlier sessions. And this session wasn't exactly going quite to plan, which is why I changed the tactics around. I thought this was going to be heading into our second night on this venue, which would have pretty much spelt the end of the challenge. But I mean, this has just changed everything right around, hasn't it? Right, I think we'll give him a quick weigh. Yep, it's a 30 pounder. Oh, is that right? 38 pound, 9 ounces. Oh, that is unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. Oh, I think that's one of the biggest mirrors in here. Let's have another quick look at him and then we'll get him back. Well, it's all to play for, isn't it now, really? What a proper old unit. Mwah. Right, let's get him back. Well, I'll take all the luck I can get on this challenge, and I'd say nailing one of the big ones on my first night on the water is pretty lucky. Hopefully my luck won't run out and there's some left over for the next 2 venues. Come on, mate. Right, I need to get packed up. It's suddenly got very, very dark. There's a load of black clouds come over. I think it's going to absolutely chuck it down. So I need to get myself all packed away, get on the road if we're to get to the next venue before it gets dark.
Lewis.
Put on speaker. Hello!
You can't send somebody a text message saying chuck and leave them hanging. So go on. How big?
38 pound, 9 ounces.
What, a mirror?
Yeah, I'm just celebrating with a rich tea biscuit. Awesome.
Jammy. Right. It sounds like it's going a little bit too easy for me, mate. That's 3 in no time. You didn't think that we were going to let you get off too easy without a little twist, did you, if you were doing well?
Well, yeah.
So the last 2 venues you got to catch from, make one of them a country that isn't England. Good luck.
He stitched me right up, hasn't he? What a I don't even know what to say to that. Better get cracking. We're now en route to our next venue, and I got packed up in such a rush and van loaded and on the road. so quickly I didn't really get a chance to fully explain the change of tactics that led to that last capture. I mean, it was looking pretty grim, to be honest. I hadn't really had any indications at all, and niggling away in the back of my mind was that the hinge stiff rig and the white pop-up, although it was only popped up an inch and a bit, I couldn't help think it was perhaps a bit too blatant, dropping that in the clear areas amongst the weed. It would stand out, which, you know, it can have, you know, advantages and disadvantages, and I couldn't help feel that maybe it's just a little bit too blatant. So I changed over from the hinge stiff rigs to a critically balanced wafter bottom bait. I used the mainline salty squid wafters, which are like a washed out pink colour. Fished them on a big hook, so it just to say settled above the gravel, which had like a fine layer of silt on top of it, and made that change. The rod was in the water an hour, and then bang, we had that 38 pounder. So looks like on this occasion I got it right for for once. But anyway, we're now en route to the next venue. There wasn't many waters that began with Y. There was the Yateley waters, but although they are on the Yateley complex, the name of the lake doesn't actually begin with a Y. So yeah, there wasn't many waters to choose from, but one we did have was Yeoman's Lake on the Linear complex. Good job that wasn't full of coffee. So yeah, that's where we're going now. We're making the, well, it's nearly 2 hours to get to Oxford. So we're on our way there. Sky's looking marginally brighter than what we've just left. It doesn't look like it's going to absolutely chuck it down. So yeah, let's get our foot down. We're just about to go on to the M1. So I shall I'll see you at Linear. Hey baby, don't ever look back. Listen to all I say. Well, I spent an hour in this swim, didn't see anything after I made them 3 casts with them solid bags. And the bailiff just came round. He said when he was driving round, he saw a few fish poke their heads up right at the top end of the lake on the back of the wind. Just had a little jog up there, left Harry in charge of the rods. Little jog up there, and they're fizzing like mad in all the calm water on the back of the wind. So we don't have much time. We need to get up there now. It's going to be dark within the next half hour. So no time for messing around. Get up there, get three rods out, and hopefully we can nick a fish before it gets dark with a bit of luck. Well, I've just made 3 casts with 3 solid PVA bags. Fish have just shown there, that's encouraging. I do feel a lot more confident since the move. I mean, I've only been sat here 10 minutes and I've had a couple of liners already, which is more than what I received in the past hour in the other swim. In situations like this where you have got fish fizzing in front of you, you can't repeatedly make cast after cast after cast. It has to be literally bang, 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 and that's it. Otherwise you'll just ruin your chances. So that's all I've done. I just sort of stood around, waited to see a fish fizz up, a solid bag, just cast straight to it, and that's all it's done. Minimum disturbance. There's fish still feeding the swim, there's fish still present, So they certainly aren't bothered by any commotion or anything like that. They are still here. So yeah, going into this night, I'm feeling quietly confident. Might have just jinxed it by saying that. But there's fish in front of me anyway, and the rods are in the water, and there isn't really a great deal more I can do. But I mean, if I haven't caught anything by the morning, then I might not be quite as buoyant as I am right now, because the clock is ticking, and I still haven't even thought of a venue outside the country to catch a fish, especially one beginning with the letter C. So yeah, actually now I think about it, I think I'm going to get the kettle on, get the barbecue on, and I think I need to do a bit of Googling.
Looking at the lakes in France, I mean, first one sort of sprung to mind. Obviously you got Chanticoq, Cassian. It'll take me like a day just to drive down there non-stop. That's not even like that's not even kind of putting the fact that I haven't got my passport into the equation. So
but well, you don't. It doesn't have to be France. You just said outside of England, Scotland.
it's August, it's their winter. Everywhere will be frozen. Can't go there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wales.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're about, I don't know, Oxford to Wales, 2.5 hours. I get it now. I get it now. I get it now. Carp Lakes in Wales. There must be something beginning with C. Everything begins with C in Wales. Well, butter my bollocks. There's one here. There's one. There's one. There's actually a couple beginning with C. Sorted. It's an absolutely one toner ripped off, and we're playing a fish. Oh, he's a mid-double. Oh, I'm not fully awake, but I'm very happy. Nice. Let's get the mat, let's have a look at him. And here he is, a little bit bigger than I first thought actually, probably about 17, maybe 18 pounds. And that means it is Y done and dusted. I think all I can do now is get back in the bag for a couple hours kip, because we need to be on the road at first light. Fishery I've picked in Wales, their gates don't open till 7 AM. So we do need to be on the road at first light if we're going to be at those fishery gates when they're just open. So that's exactly what I'm going to do now. Let's get him back.
I've just seen the cost of the toll bridge. I think we need to take a mortgage out on this one. Jesus. £12.80 to cross a bridge. Jesus. Is there anywhere else we can go to? It's cheaper to drive to Scotland. Well, here we are. This is the final venue of the challenge. This is the sea in Carp. At the moment we've got RP, so we need the sea. This is Cefn Mably Fishery in South Wales. That's Cardiff Angling Centre just behind me, and here's the lake. Never seen it before. I didn't even know the place existed a few hours ago until I googled it on my iPhone. And yeah, never seen the lake before. I just saw the pictures that came up on my phone. Lovely looking lake, lovely looking complex. Kind of got a bit lucky really with this one, I think. When we got here about 15 minutes ago, it was flat calm. There's fish fizzing up all over in front of me. I just hope it isn't kind of reminiscent of how this challenge all began when we were at Rising Sun. There was fish fizzing up all over and they turned out to be bream and we had a bit of a nightmare. But I'm hoping that isn't going to be the case this time. So yeah, we need one fish. I've got 22 hours to do it. I'm kind of ahead of schedule. So let's get the kit out of the van and we'll see what we can do. Well, as you can see, the sun's come out, it's warmed up massively. I think any hopes of catching anything off the bottom pretty much all been quashed. There's quite a lot of fish cruising around just under the surface. Now and then they'll just sort of poke the dorsal fins up and poke their heads up. It's great for a bit of floater fishing, but sadly floater fishing isn't allowed on here. So it's going to be 2 zigs, fished a few inches under the surface, and I'm still confident. That's the main thing. Well, not for the first time this challenge as a tactical change brought about quick results. 10 minutes on a little zigger liner, 4 inches under the surface. Ouch! I want to swear so badly. Right, let's get straight back out there. I've got nothing else to say. Oh, that'll teach you being cocky, won't it? It's 2 o'clock in the afternoon now. There's still a few fish in front of me, not as many as there were. But the dilemma I'm faced with is I can only be in this swim until 4 o'clock, and then this peg is booked out to another angler. And there's only one other swim free on the lake, and since we've been here, I haven't seen a single fish in that peg. So the way I see it is, if I don't catch in the next 2 hours, I'm going to be going into a swim where there is no fish and no hope of passing the challenge. So if it doesn't happen in the next 2 hours, I think we can almost say it's game over. So quite frankly, I'm bricking it. And all I keep going over in my mind is that fish that I lost an hour ago. It's... Oh, come on, carp gods. Time is now 3:23. 35 minutes before we've got to be out of the swim. And it's rattled off. And you wouldn't believe how much I am praying right now that this fish stays on. Because this really is last chance saloon, as far as I'm concerned. I feel like I film Alien. It goes, that's what my heart feels like it's going to do right now. Should have a couple of speakers behind me to play that dramatic music instead of like editing it in afterwards. It should happen live. Pardon. Now he's seeing the net, he isn't very happy. That's it, stay there, stay there, stay there. Yes! Oh! Oh! Can we go on now? Oh! Wasn't that hard, was it, really? Piece of cake. Oh. Guess that'll be the job done then, eh? I can't see it, I can't see it. Yeah, still a little bit in shock, really. Let's have a look at him. Before I mentioned I'd only had a handful of hook pulls in all the times I've been using zigger liners, and you can see with this one, it's about 1.5 inches back in the mouth, bottom lip absolutely nailed, and that's what they're like, 99 times out of 100. And here he is, probably one of the most special carp I've ever caught. Lovely Keffin Mabley Welsh mirror, about £17, but size is irrelevant, isn't it? Like I said, it's one of the most special, memorable carp I've caught in a long, long time. I've got to say, my heart was in my mouth from the second I hooked this fish, especially after that hook pull. And I'm still a little bit in shock, if I'm honest. It's been an epic few days, highs and lows. I think what I'm going to do though, I'm going to slip this fish back and have a little reflection on what's gone on since the start of this challenge. Well, I never honestly thought we would get to this stage. When I first heard this challenge, I didn't think it was passable, simply because of the logistics involved. I mean, I live way up north, and the travelling, I mean, we've travelled hours between venues, and even just loading and unloading the van has taken an absolute age. So I think it's fair to say though, there has been quite a lot of key moments throughout this entire challenge. where things have gone right at the right times and made it possible. It all started at Rising Sun when I made that change from PVA bags to boilies, and that got me a fish very, very quickly. You could argue I should have made the change sooner, but made the change and got the fish. We then went over to A1 Pits, and I mean, that was a bit of a nightmare for me, to be honest. Didn't have a wink of sleep, hardly. Kept awake all night, catching 5-pounders. Lost what felt a good fish in a snag right by my feet, and then luckily managed to land a double-figure fish to get the next pass. And then, obviously, there was the Patson syndicate on Northie. It was looking so grim. We spent 24 hours. It was looking like it was just going to be a fail. I couldn't see a fish coming if we'd have stayed there for the rest of that week. It just looked grim. Made a tactical change from the hinge stiff rigs and pop-ups onto the balance wafter hook baits and get a 38-pounder within an hour. I mean, talk about key moments and things going right. That was just, it was mind-blowing, wasn't it? Then we went over to the Yeoman Syndicate, and that was a little bit of luck, really. We didn't get there till quite late, and we got that tip off the bailiff, who recommended trying up the top end. Made that move, there was fish there. The last PVA bag hit the water just as it was dark. I mean, if we'd have been caught in traffic on the way there or anything, you know, we would have ran out of time and it would have just been blind pub chucks. But managed to get the PVA bags where the fish were fizzing, where they were feeding. And then 1 o'clock this morning, it rattled off, which meant we could get on the road for first light and get down here. And when we came over to Keffin Mabley, the peg we were in, we only had it for a few hours, and then it was going to be taken up by another angler. So it was a race against the clock, because the peg we would have had to move in, there was no fish there. So you did talk about key moments, and then with the zigs, we made the change through the zigs from fishing on the bottom with little PVA sticks towards fizzing fish. And we've been chopping and changing the zigs, and it was a zig fish 2 inches under the surface that brought about the fish, and there was the lost fish, of course. And I thought that was going to be, I thought it was going to spell disaster, but 35 minutes to go before we get some move swims, and that was it, done. So yeah, highs and lows, and we've now got a very long drive back home, but doesn't matter. But there you go, that is it. That is the Carpy Challenge. Done and dusted, ticked off, finished, finitoed, wrapped up, game over, in the bag, that's it. But throughout this session, I haven't really gone into a great amount of detail about the rigs and the tactics I've used. There simply hasn't been the time. It's been get a fish, get gone. So if you would like to see all the tactics and rigs and methods I've used in more detail, then you can check out the videos on YouTube. So thanks for watching, see you next time. If you'd like to watch more of my challenge videos, then click the link here. Or if you'd like to subscribe to Fox Fishing TV, then click the link here.
That was good.